What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are taking the R7 for a ride. We're gonna go down to my friend's dealership. We're gonna check out some bikes, ride some bikes, and we're gonna yap along the way. Let's go. Before we get into today's video, if you're new around here and you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the subscribe, the like, the share, the follow, do the things that help me out as I'm growing the channel. And if you are new here, thank you. And if you are from another platform, also thank you and welcome to YouTube. And now, today's video. So we are at Ducati of Tampa Bay, and we are going to be riding a V2 and a Scrambler, and then we're going to swap. We just heard about all of the specs and cool things about the V2. And from what we're hearing, the V2 is one of the best middleweight bikes in its class because of the horsepower and weight. I think it's going to get a lot of comparison to the R7. Now, a lot of people say that the V2 is the baby sister of the V4, obviously. And if you're going to spend 20 grand, why not just spend a little more and get a V4? But because of the weight, because of the horsepower, apparently, this thing is an absolute monster for a lot of different reasons. So we're going to go take it for a spin and we're going to see how we like it. You can hear that exhaust already. This already has the exhaust system on it. This is one of their demo bikes here. So, ready? We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And already, just from the actual just seating position and where my hands are set up, you're a lot more upright on this bike than you are on the R7 or something else. This also has an auto blipper up and down, which is pretty cool. Let's see what we got. Feels super smooth. Responsiveness is pretty nice. So I'm so used to having the leaned over position, and I expect it to be the same and to feel the same, but the V2 is way more upright. The way that the bars are not the same position. You feel more like you're sitting almost all the way upright like a naked bike. Okay, downshift blip. So the up and downshift, super nice, no clutch. And the burble of the exhaust sounds really good. One of the things that Ducati did with the V2 is they went from the single side swing arm to a double side on the V2. And they did that so that they could reduce the weight, because the single side swing arm is a little heavier, and being able to reduce the weight again when you have 126 horsepower is really beneficial. We're gonna go chase the other way so we're not in the rain. Yeah, it feels good. Feels a really good acceleration. I'm trying to see how long I can go before I can feel any sort of fatigue as far as my legs, knees, just because it is a different seating position than the R7. So having ridden this for the past 15 minutes, now we're going to go jump on the highway and see how it does. It feels very similar in power distribution to the R7, only it has way more punch. Good. I'm all the way into 6 now though, so like comparatively to the R7 in 5th and 6th gear is struggling. Where it feels like now in 6th, right up here, I still have some room to go, which is nice. I don't feel like I have that in the other mid-size sport bikes. But I liked it. I think that ultimately, if I was getting a mid-sized bike, I don't know that I'd go V2 actually.
How do you like it?
It's all right actually. It's not as quick as I was expecting it to be. The problem is that I have is that unless you're taking it to the track for 18 grand.
That's the big problem, is it's 18 grand.
Right. So at the price point of $18,000, there's a slew of other bikes that I'm getting, even for the track, even if I'm only going track.
12 or 13, they make a lot more sense.
Yes, right. So this compared to, again, the 660, which is 11 and a half, it feels very similar power-wise. Obviously, it's a Ducati. It looks phenomenal. But I was actually kind of unimpressed out on the highway. So overall, I like the look of it. I think that it looks phenomenal, but even with the extras and the benefits of it being light and having more horsepower, being very slim, the seating position's great. You sit a little up higher, so it feels good, feels comfortable. I don't think for 18 grand I'm going V2. A brand new R1 is very close to that, so you're already at a leader bike at that point. I mean, even the base level S1000 is only another $4,000 MSRP. So for it being a mid-sized bike, I don't know. All right, so I thought a little bit more about riding the V2, and I just want to make a quick amendment to the end of the video. Now, I wrapped up the video and said that overall I was pretty underwhelmed, just overall in general, by what you get for the price tag. Now again, it is a Ducati. You do get a lot of electronics, you get a lot of the just the high-end vehicle that a Ducati is. But for 18 grand, it just feels like a bit expensive for the lack of high-end power. Now, what I didn't really consider, and I was fortunate enough to have a nice long chat with, again, my friend Doug, who is the general manager of Ducati of Tampa Bay, and it kind of put some things into perspective that I want to make sure that I preface here. Obviously, riding a bike for 10-15 minutes isn't going to give you the full picture anyway, and just in general. It's going to give you some first impressions. But he himself, who is a very experienced rider, track rider, all of the things, he's just a very all-around skilled and fast rider, said that the first time that he rode the V2, he also was underwhelmed. But the more he thought about it, the more he rode it, the more he saw the way other people were riding it and how fast he was actually on that bike, the more he realized that the bike does so many things well that you don't realize how fast it is, how smooth it is, all of these things. So I do want to make sure that we preface the fact that it felt underwhelming and very comparable to the R7, which has 50 less horsepower than that bike, right? But that the power is made in very different places, and that on that bike, the V2, you're up to speed immediately almost, and then it just feels like it kind of flattens out. But that the fact is that it did it so quickly and so well that you don't even realize. You're not hearing that visceral sound that you do on a Yamaha on a Japanese sport bike, and because of that, it almost feels like it's not doing as much, or that it is underwhelming, right? So obviously each bike has its purpose, each bike has its use, and I did want to make sure that I amended what I said about it after only riding it for 15 minutes, because again, I didn't take it into a twisty road. I didn't get to lean it over. I didn't really get to experience the point of the V2, and I want to make sure that if you are looking at it for the track or something like that, that you do get to try it out and test it in an environment that is going to be conducive to the bike and what it's good at, right? So keep that in mind. Again, that was a little bit of a false end there because I'm adding this to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to doing more stuff like this. And until next time, be safe.